the very last of our radio plays for today, please welcome to the stage David Lloyd, Ada Ralston, Joe Wilson, Tristan Reynolds, Aaliyah Sosa Colazzo, Anthony Day, D'Angelo Gilmer, William Howes, Andrew McCartney, Isabel Dyer, Ethan Sherman, Ethan Walters, Tyler Crawford, Matthew Bazile, Caleb Patton, and Devontae Brown. This one is called Wounds of War, and it's our last show.
Is that what they're calling it these days? Well, I'm Sean. Nice to meet you. I suppose we'll be bunkmates, and I'll finally get to be a part of this best camp in the Army.
Well, looks like you got here just in time. That's the dinner bell. There's stuff in the tent, and I'll show you around later after inspections.
Sean and Tom make their way towards the mess tent, which is filled with bustling people. All of them pushing and shoving to get to the counter arranged in an assortment of bread, salted pork, and beef, the standard meal in the Army. They get their food from the line as the two boys at the end of the tent wave them over to sit.
Awesome. Nice to see you. Looks like you brought along some fresh meat. I think I've been serving for 1.5 years already.
You transferred. What brings you here?
Some bad luck and a few dead soldiers.
Man, that sounds rough. And it doesn't look like your life has improved much with you getting put here.
What makes you say that? I mean, with some of the things Tom has been saying, I was under the impression that it was the best camp in the Army. Am I right, Tom?
Well, of course.
Don't listen to him. He's just being optimistic. It's the general you have to look out for.
Why do you say that?
Well, ever since the general took over, the battles have been a bloodbath. And he leads the army straight from the front, so he can fight. No general leads the army from the front.
Yeah, he always seems to have much casualties too. Almost everyone who's seen this tent has only been here for a couple of months, shedding recruitment or trenches like you.
Ah, come on, guys, you scare him. It really isn't even like that.
You only say it because you get to fight more often. You're happy enough for that part. Besides, we're going to find out eventually.
Tom pulls Sean from his chair and ushers him over to the counter and out of the tent before he can utter a word. He leads Sean back the way they came in the direction of the tent and helps him unpack his things.
Well, there, we're ready to learn for the night. Get some sleep. Meet the general tomorrow.
Curled up in his sheets, Sean is already asleep. And now a word from our sponsor. Have you ever been stuck outside on a frigid winter day, waiting for your loved one to return home as you wish for something better than your ratty old coat? Something more modern, perhaps? Well, today your wish has become a reality. At New Riley's, we prioritize affordability and comfort at all times. So come on down and get the perfect coat for you.
When the days are cold and you're tired of the old and you just want something soft and cheaply sold, get New Riley's, the beauty for the old. Get New Riley's to keep you from the cold.
And now back to the story. The next day at the training yard, Sean and Tom stand at attention among the other soldiers. The general has been waiting with his arms crossed.
At ease, I am General Red. Today starts off your first week of intense training. Here you will learn the basics of how to hold and fire a gun in preparation for battle. Disrespect and tardiness will not be tolerated. If you're late, you'll be tasked with holding the targets. You got that? Now, your first battle will take place in 3 weeks. Any questions?
How can you expect us to get into battle after only 3 weeks?
No? Good. Those of you who have had previous training and experience will be placed in a reserved group for more advanced training leading up to the battle. You may begin.
The soldiers are sorted based on their skills and experience in battle. Sean and Tom are sorted to the reserve group and they begin training. Throughout the weeks, they seldom see the general except for in passing as they work on their aim and endurance in the small clearings in the woods. Finally, after 3 weeks, the battle is upon them.
You nervous?
Sean had grown quite fond of Tom throughout the course of their training, though he could come off as annoying with his perky personality. Sean had to admit that Tom was beginning to grow on him.
No, and you shouldn't be either. We've done this before, and I'll be right next to you the whole time.
Okay, it feels strange actually being here again. I remember saying that with us a moment, but now that I'm here, I'm scared. I guess I just always thought it would be different.
I know what you mean. In the safety of home, you can dream of glory and serving your country, but when you actually get there on the battlefield, well, there's nothing noble about it. Even if what you do is for a good reason, there's nothing right about killing.
The boys lay silent for a long time, and eventually Sean hears the soft, rhythmic breathing of Tom sleeping next to him. Still, he cannot sleep. Eventually, taking care not to wake Tom, he rises from his sheets. Sean walks along the path leading to the woods and the targets he knew awaited there. He knows he should be sleeping, but still hopes to get some extra practice in before battle. Sean is just about to turn back when he hears hushed voices coming from the target range.
I wonder who that could be. Maybe another restless soldier coming out here for practice.
Sean, known for his curiosity, continued quietly down the path. The range came into view. Surrounded by trees and shrubs, it was the perfect place to practice, as the sound will not travel far. And there, standing in the clearing, towering higher than the lieutenant, was the general himself.
I expected results. You've been there for over a month now, and what do you have to show for it?
I'm sorry, sir. They have many more people than we thought. It's hard to get around them. Please, forgive me, sir. I won't fail you again.
I know. You see to that.
Sean fled, not wanting to have the general and his hateful gaze turned on him. The general's eyes were so dark, almost unnaturally so, like obsidian bathed in ink. He wondered what they were talking about for the general to act like that. Was he planning to betray them? He knew he would not forget what had happened there, not for a long, long time.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah, me too. I hope they put us in the back.
Why?
I heard the back is more sheltered from the attacks.
I had once mirrored their thoughts. When I was fresh out of recruitment, I assumed the back was safer. I learned the hard way how devastating an ambush could be.
They continued on the march. The woods were quiet around them, too quiet. Suddenly, soldiers sprang up for the brush around them.
Now it's begun there to spring all around me. The new recruits panic. Some of them drop their guns and begin running blindly towards the trees, arms over their heads. They are fools, but I've never experienced it myself. I know for certain there are troops in the trees starting to kill the stragglers and runaways. A horse approaches me with riot between mount and sword. I block the attack, but the fortune of the blow stuns me momentarily. And then I hear a scream above all the others. It's Tom!
And now, another word from our sponsor.
Hey y'all, you ever felt depressed, very mournful, not able to sleep? Well, I'm going to my bourbon, and boy, do I have the bourbon for you. It's strong, manly, and affordable. Just one sip. Just one sip, and that's it. Finding calm in the crawl. His face is a massive pain. His legs a heavy bayonet lodge. And there's the general standing next to him, short sword and smiling. He doesn't run against Thomas and falls.
The rest of the battle is a blur. Later, Sean will claim he never remembered running to his friend's side in their victory of the fight, or even helping to set up the camp he now resides in. He says he only remembers the general letting his friend fall, and then nothing, just a blur of sound and light. A few hours later, Sean stands in front of a medical tent emblazoned with a red cross. Taking a deep breath, he steps inside. The tent smells of chemicals and disease. Tom lays quietly on the mat in the corner of the enclosure, a bandage wrapped around his leg.
Hey,
How are you holding up?
as well as can be expected.
Is that bad?